Hello.
Hi, welcome back to another Patreon monthly.
Yeah, we still haven't figured out a name
No.
for this series yet.
Yeah, I know. And even though it happens monthly, it feels like it's such a long time since the last one.
Yeah, same. It's weird that, isn't it?
I know.
I suppose so much news happens in the space of a month.
Yeah, it does. Like when I read something at the beginning of the month, I've already forgotten about it.
Yeah. Well, not in my case this month, but...
Yeah. Do you want to start with your case? Is it more grim than mine or?
No, mine's quite funny. So maybe we should end with that?
Yeah, let's do that. That's like, the latest Black Mirror season, by the way. We started watching it backwards and I don't know why we did that. I think it's just the way it's listed on Netflix.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, oh, that makes sense, because I'm not going to spoil it, but the last episode has a happy ending and the first episode is really awful.
Yeah.
I don't know what, anyway, so let's not do what I did with Black Mirror and let's start with the grim one.
Let's get an order.
Yeah, let's do it the way it should be done. So yeah, my one, I've managed to escape France.
Woohoo!
You'll be happy to know. There were things happening in France that I was keeping up with, but I was like, no, I need to look outside of this country and see what's happening elsewhere. So I'm going to Spain with my story.
Oh, Espanol.
Yes. I'm not going to try and speak Spanish. Sorry. I mean, this article from the BBC was written 5 days ago, but the software that it talks about, the New York Times wrote about in January. But anyway, a woman in Spain called Lina, she was murdered by her ex-partner I think she was murdered in January, but she was known to the police as a victim of domestic abuse. However, the police in Spain, apart from the Basque country, I think, and so not all of Spain, but the majority of Spain use this software, which is an algorithm-based system called, I hope I'm pronouncing this right, VioGen? Is that how you would have pronounced it?
Yeah, that's how I've read it.
Yeah. So VioGen, she was on this system and she was labelled as being medium risk. So this system, which has been used since 2007, it's been through upgrades since then, obviously. It asks 35 questions, and I believe they're yes or no questions about abuse and the intensity and things like, the aggressor's access or use of weapons, the mental health of the aggressor, whether the victim has left or is considering leaving the relationship, etc. And then the outcomes I think there's 5 outcomes. So there's negligible, low, medium, high, or extreme. And then each category determines what police resources are allocated to protect the victim. And so Lina, based on the responses about her case on this system, she was deemed to be at medium risk. She did ask for a restraining order in the court in Malaga, so that her ex-partner couldn't contact her or share her living space. And that request was denied.
Did they say why?
No, and in this BBC article, the journalists were denied a meeting with the judge that made that decision.
Okay.
And according to her cousin, she wanted to change the locks in her home. She had children. And 3 weeks later, her ex-partner used his key to enter her flat, set the place on fire. Lina's children, her mother, and the ex-partner managed to escape, but Lina unfortunately didn't. And her body was later retrieved from the home once the fire was controlled. And I guess she had more than 3 children, but he was the father of her 3 youngest children. And her 11-year-old son was able to tell the police that it was his father that committed this crime. So obviously this has raised questions about the use of this system as to whether VioGen had accurately given her the right risk rating, given that a few weeks later, she was murdered by her ex-partner. Because she had been given a medium risk, the follow-up by the police would have been made within 30 days, and she was killed within that 30 days. If she had been given a high risk, then the police would have followed up on her case within a week. Whether that would have made a difference or not, no one knows, but it's clear in this case that she was more than a medium risk.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, tools like this they're not new. Like in the UK, some police forces use the domestic abuse risk assessment, which is like another form of a checklist. And I think that's also used by social workers, I'm not sure. However, in Spain, the police really depend on this algorithm, and it was developed by police and academics. And according to a study in 2014, if I've read this correctly, 95% of the time, police accepted whatever outcome the VioGen assessment gave.
So it sounds like they don't question the result at all. Like, they just take it as face value.
Yeah.
And go ahead with it.
Yeah, I think that's the risk. Obviously, you don't want to assume that every police officer or every police force is solely relying on the algorithm. You'd want them to depend on other resources as well. But if you've got an overwhelmed police force and limited resources, that is the danger of it happening, I guess. And it's the same as like within the NHS, when staff are overwhelmed and they have risk assessments that are kind of tick box exercises and people fall through the gaps and unfortunate incidents happen. It's a sad case and it's quite an interesting one. I guess it's going to bring this system into more scrutiny and how the police use it. But then, I don't know, because the New York Times article, this one came out in January, and they did an investigation in 2024, and they found that the police were very reliant on the technology. And they did find other women who were labelled as no risk or low risk, who were later on murdered by their partners.
Right.
And I think I read somewhere, I can't remember which article, I read somewhere that they, in the next update or going forward, they are going to get rid of the no risk category.
Yeah, because if you're a victim of domestic violence, then
unless your partner has died or your ex-partner has died and is literally off the face of the earth or in prison.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, even then, no, like, because some women, they might be vulnerable to then ending up in another relationship that is abusive because of the pattern of behaviours. You know, like, there is never an elimination of risk.
We should say that it's not just women who are victims of domestic violence.
That's why I try to say the word victim rather than woman, because it can be, you know, anyone, and like, it doesn't matter the gender or the gender identity. But I personally think you shouldn't have, obviously, no risk. Low risk, I don't know how I feel about that. I feel like if you are already coming to the police and you have already made a complaint, it should be medium at least. I don't know. I mean, I'm not an expert.
If that has happened, then that's probably not the first time that it's happened to that person.
Yeah, and how many times, how many steps or how many incidents does a victim have to go through before they go to the police? You know what I mean?
Exactly. And is that taken into account in this algorithm as well?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, 35 questions, is that enough?
And yes or no questions as well.
Yeah. I mean, this leads on to the discussion, I guess. And this is another grey area, and like whether, I hate to say it, if AI is going to be the way forward.
Yeah.
And that has a whole host of other implications that I don't want to try and think about right now. But, I mean, to be fair, even without this, in a lot of cases, the police are useless anyway when it comes to taking domestic violence cases seriously.
Yeah, in a lot of cases, yeah.
Yeah, we've heard about again and again. But according to the New York Times article, there have been, and I quote, including dozens who were murdered. So Lena is definitely not the first case that has ended up losing her life. I'm not saying it's just because of the VioGen. It's a combination of this.
And police work.
Yeah, and police work and the discretion of the police, the judge, everyone involved in the justice system. Obviously, they're not to blame. The person to blame is the abuser, the perpetrator. But, there are systems in place that are supposed to protect the victim. And I guess the question is, is this just adding another flaw to the system? And, it does depend on what information the police enter.
Yeah, because that person might not be telling the truth either. Not out of...
Yeah, it's down to interpretation, isn't it?
Yeah, but I mean, they might not want to give every detail over to the police. There might be something that they don't feel comfortable doing at that stage if it's the first time that they've met that officer, say.
Yeah.
They won't have the confidence. It should be done over a period of time, but that safeguard of, what's it called when you can't go a certain amount of distance?
Restraining order?
Restraining order, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that should be given almost straight away.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't say in any of the articles that I've read, like how often it's like a risk assessment. If you do a risk assessment, you should continually do it because risks change, you need to manage, blah, blah, blah. How often is this questionnaire repeated with the victim, Because as you said, they might not open up the first time. But if they build a rapport with the police or feel that they can be trusted, they might open up. And the other thing is the system could be, and this is said in the New York Times article, the system could be improved if it worked alongside other databases like healthcare and education systems. If you don't have that collaboration with other agencies, what's the point?
I'm also wondering if it took in the background of the perpetrator, if he'd committed similar crimes before, or if he has a criminal record in general.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It doesn't say, but I'm guessing there must be a question. I mean, that's the thing. I am interested to know what the questions are. Maybe I should have tried to look that up.
You would hope that the police would do that themselves, though.
I mean, if it was the UK, you can definitely tell that they wouldn't most of the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a really uncomfortable approach when you are making important decisions based on algorithms. I hope that, whoever the powers that be in Spain look at this, either improve the way they use this tool to make sure that it's not being misused or that more women don't fall through the net. Especially, there must be thousands and thousands and thousands of women on that database.
Yeah.
So that was
your find. Well, you went outside France. You did it.
Yeah, I did. But it was, I feel like every month it's always about violence against women.
Yeah. I mean, we shouldn't laugh at that.
No, we shouldn't. Oh, you kind of have to laugh because...
Try and find some happy crime news next time.
Yeah, I'll try. No, I did find the one about the spread last month.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but I do need to find more happy. It's my phone. It's whatever my phone algorithm. The algorithm of my phone.
Yeah.
It just gives me negative news articles. Maybe I need to fix that.
Yeah. Mine, on the other hand, seems to give me the weird and wonderful.
Right.
So I first saw this news story, and I need to send you a video actually, but I saw this at the start of April, and I thought it was an April Fool's joke. Until I saw the date of publication, that I realised it's actually true and funny.
Right.
So a food delivery driver called Hector stole a canine memorial dog statue outside the Benton County Sheriff's Office in Arkansas, in the US. So there is video footage of this food delivery driver stealing this dog, and the video tracks him from his food collection point.
A statue of a dog?
Yeah.
How heavy was the statue? What was it made of?
I don't know those details.
Okay.
But it looks fairly light from the videos.
Okay.
He was able to pick it up and walk away with it.
Right. Okay.
It was the size of a miniature schnauzer, maybe. It's sitting down. It's got a blue police uniform on.
Yeah.
I think it's got a hat. But it's a very cute, memorial statue. So, yeah, this video footage tracks him from his food pickup place and he drives to the sheriff's office and just sees the dog and goes over and picks it up and goes back into his car.
Right.
So the sheriff's office put out a Facebook post with this video asking the public to identify Hector. And they said, Hector, if you're seeing this, bring our pup back home where he belongs. He's not a tip. He's not decor. He's a tribute.
Okay. And did they get the statue back?
Well, there's another video that I'm going to send you. They did recover the statue. It was recovered a few days later.
Right.
And the Hector, the food delivery guy, said that he was trying to steal it so that he could fix it up. He wanted it to be a surprise for the sheriff's office. And the sheriff's office replied that, nice try. The statue didn't need fixing. He was already perfect. Tampering with county property isn't a surprise. It's a crime.
Okay.
And there is video footage of the sheriff putting the statue in his car, in his police vehicle, belting it up so that it doesn't go anywhere in the back seat.
Oh my God.
And then he safely returns it to its rightful spot outside the county sheriff's office.
Did they secure it to that spot to make sure it doesn't get stolen again?
I don't know, possibly. It didn't show in the video.
So did Hector get in any trouble? Or did they just go, I mean, not that they've got better resources to spend there.
They're currently pursuing legal action.
Okay, maybe just a fine or something.
Well, I was wondering if Hector got, like, community service, whether he would have to clean all the dog statues in the county.
Why would you steal a dog statue?
I don't know, but I have seen other articles about other dog statues being stolen.
Yeah.
This is, like, globally.
So it's a thing.
Yeah.
I guess they could make nice decoration in people's gardens.
I just love the fact that his excuse to the police was that he wanted to surprise them with a refurbished dog.
What was he going to do? Just give the statue another paint job or something?
Yeah. It's a really cute statue, though, and the videos are quite funny.
So funny. Like, I mean, at least he just stole it and didn't destroy it. Like what happened, did you hear about the Paddington Bear statue?
Oh, yeah, that was stolen off a bench, wasn't it?
Oh, it was ripped apart. Yeah, it was destroyed.
That was in the UK, wasn't it?
Yeah. So at least he didn't do that, and the dog was safe. Maybe it was his anniversary and he'd forgot, so he wanted to surprise his wife or partner.
Here's the dog I stole.
Happy anniversary. I don't know.
Or maybe they're allergic to dogs and they can only have dog statues.
Yeah, but you can get
hypoallergenic dogs. Yes, you can.
Yeah.
You can, but sometimes people are allergic to them as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So they're not really hypoallergenic. So there's no point to them, really.
Depends how allergic that person is.
Oh, that's true.
Probably allergic to themselves.
Maybe. But yeah, that is a very odd one. And we'll never know the real reason he stole it.
Yeah, it's probably cheaper than the gold toilet that was stolen a few months ago.
Yeah. Oh, bless.
That I can understand because it was made of solid gold.
Yeah, but then how can you sell that?
You melt it down, won't you?
That's some, like, money heist operation. You'd need a lot of technology for that and a lot of time and effort to be able, and the capabilities to hide all that equipment from the police. But my bet is Hector sold that because he forgot either his anniversary, a birthday, or something.
Or it was a dare.
Yeah, or he was just bored that day and just...
Yeah.
I mean, I wonder if they searched his home and found any other stolen goods.
Another quote from that was when they were looking for it, they said, "Oh, we don't want the dog to be marked as delivered."
I hope though he didn't lose his job for that because I don't know. I hope he didn't lose his job for that.
Depends how many Happy Meals he's stolen.
Yeah, that's true. Hopefully none.
Yeah. So anyway, that was my find for this
That
month.
was a nice light-hearted one.
Yeah.
So I'll try and... I can't make any promises, but I'll try and find something light-hearted for next month.
Okay. Shall I do the grim then for next month?
We can try and do a bit of role reversal, yeah.
Okay.
Might fail miserably.
May's going to be depressing for me.
I mean, I got out of France. That's one step at a time.
Okay, well done.
Anyway, thanks for listening.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
We'll see you next month.
Yeah, see you on the next one.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to the show. We hope you enjoyed this episode. You can find more information about the show on our website at feloniouspod.com or on our Instagram at felonious.pod.
Links to our show notes can be found in the episode description, as well as through our website and social media. You can visit our Contact Us page and tell us what you think about the show, and if there are any cases you would like us to cover. We hope you join us for the next episode. Goodbye!
Bye!